so I said something. I was like, "It's this stupid pizza," and I like playfully slammed my plate down.
Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where this week's episode is going to be a little short, but don't worry, you will get to hear the interview we're recording tonight in April, and it is with Lana Ferguson of The Nanny. So
Yay.
Stay tuned for that. But yeah, that was a little bit long.
Enjoy a short episode, but this long intro.
Hey.
I am the ghost of Karin from the great beyond.
And I am not a ghost. I am Mandy of Saxbridge.
Welcome. In our timeline, it is currently March 16th, and in y'all's timeline, it is March 24th. I cannot comprehend that. I don't like it.
I feel like we need to 86 this whole segment because it always makes me stressed.
Yes, but then they need to understand.
How?
I know.
That was just me being sarcastic, but
whatever.
Ew, I don't like it either.
I don't like it either. So I would like to point out that I am a ghost of myself because last week I said if Michelle Yeoh won the Oscar, I would die. And guess what, bitches? Michelle Yeoh won the fucking Oscar.
Yes, she did.
Made me so happy. Michelle Yeoh has made history as the first Asian identifying woman to win Best Actress. And I say Asian identifying because there was an actress way back forever ago who was Indian, I believe, but never identified as such and actually kept her ethnicity to herself. So nobody knew until after her death. So we're going with Michelle, which is what everybody has been reporting. And she is only the second woman of color to win this award. The first being Halle Berry, like in 2001 or 2002.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 21 years ago. And the fun thing about it, it's not fun, but so traditionally the Oscars for Best Actress, Best Actor are presented by last year's Best Actress and Best Actor. However, last year was Will Smith, and he has been banned from the Oscars. But that opened the door for Halle Berry to come in his place, which means that the first woman of color who won an Oscar for Best Actress presented it to the next one, which you could see how emotional she was when she handed it to her. It was... oh, my heart made me so happy. Ke Huy Quan won for Best Supporting Actor, and Ariana DeBose was the one who
made me cry.
The second her voice broke, I was gone. Yeah. It was.
Did you see the video of her seeing Morgan Freeman?
Yes, she is all of us.
I love her.
Oh my god.
But Ke Huy Quan.
Oh my god. He's only
he's an angel.
He is an angel and he needs to be protected at all costs. He is only the second Asian man to win this award, so more history there. I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. I want to say Daniel Scheinhardt, who won for Best Directing Original Screenplay and for Best Picture. He thanked his parents for supporting him, and he also said he wanted to thank them for supporting him even when he was dressed in drag, which doesn't harm anybody.
Never.
So I love him so much. Daniel Kwan had the best speeches of the night. He had all the big emotional moments, and I love him too. All of them. I love them. Angela Bassett looked so sad. She looked so sad, and it made me sad. Yeah. But I really love that immediately afterward, the next award, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors was presenting, and they walked out, and Michael B. Jordan was just like, "Hey, auntie," and Jonathan Majors was like, "We love you," and I was like, oh. Sending her love, and it was so sweet.
I know.
Sarah Polley won for Best Adapted Screenplay for Women Talking, which feels like the biggest fuck you ever to Mark Wahlberg, who misspoke the name of the movie at the SAG Awards. He said it was Women Are Talking, and the movie is called Women Talking, and so it just felt like the best little fuck you to him for saying it wrong. And I also have fallen in love with Sarah Polley because the first thing she says in her awards speech is thanks to the Academy for not being scared of the film that had the words women and talking so close together. And I was just like, girl, I love you.
No notes.
No notes. And then the last thing I wrote down is that Jimmy Kimmel went around the room saying he had all these people who had his back if anybody tried to come and attack him, and he was like, Michelle Yeoh is gonna beat you up, and Pedro Pascal. And then he said I even have Spider-Man, and everybody in the room thought it was Tom Holland, but it was actually Andrew Garfield, and everybody was silent, and he was like and it was like,
Angel.
yeah, He was so precious. I love that man so
He's as cute
much.
as he could be.
He is. And he presented with Florence Pugh, and I was just like, this is
What more do you need than those two on
I
a
I
stage together?
I don't need anything
Nothing.
else. They're perfection.
No.
Perfection. They were amazing. So those are all my notes on the Oscars, and I tried to talk really fast because it's already late and I feel bad for Mandy. One last thing is that last week I said that Damsel by Evelyn Skye is being published on the 14th. I was wrong because I forgot that the pub date got pushed back to April 11th, but the arcs were printed before the new date.
Oopsie.
So when I read it, I wasn't thinking. So just FYI, you can still pre-order it. So go do that.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all my announcements.
Yay!
I tried to go as fast as I could because I knew there was a lot on this list. This week in fangirling. Tell me what you did.
I didn't do a whole lot. I had a very chill week where I just kind of vegetated. I finished 1,000 Miles to Graceland, which I loved. I was very close last episode.
Yeah.
I just got my copy Tuesday night late. And my job has been a nightmare lately.
Yeah.
So I couldn't I can't read during work anyways, but like I'm working longer hours. So there was not a lot of time. And then we recorded Thursday night. Loved it. Still very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Especially when they get to Memphis and she can see Graceland from Redacted. Spoiler alert. I'm not going to spoil where they are. But yeah, I thought it was really cute. I thought it was a really special book. Then I got the last 5 episodes of You. I do not understand the people who are hating on this season. I don't get it. Are you watching the same TV show as me? Because I thought that Joe, the serial killer in this season, was spine chilling. It wasn't scary. It's not a scary show. He was so scary this season, far more than any other seasons. And there are twists that there's like the very end is so upsetting that it's like, everybody's like, it was flat. Were we watching the same show? I don't think we were. I do not think we were. So I caught up on that. And then the only other thing I've done this week, other than like mindlessly doom scroll TikTok, reading about alien motherships in the atmosphere, is I got my advanced copy of The Evergreen Air by A.K. Mulford. So it is book 4 of the 5 Crowns of Oakrith series. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is Nilo's book. Nilo is the heir of Saxbridge, which is where I'm from this week. They are the only heir. There is another character that gives me Chris Hemsworth vibes, but I love him. And I am not a Chris Hemsworth girl. I'm like, but
Yeah.
I love Talhan. If Nilo and Talhan don't end up together, I might leap off of my roof. Just take a swan dive. There have been like moments where it's been teased that Nilo and Talhan might be a thing. And I think it's pretty obvious that they are. But Nilo is every single one of us. Okay. They are bookish. They don't want to go out in public. They don't want to be bothered. They want to sit in their library, read their books, and be left alone. And their mother is the queen of Saxbridge. And she is very so the Southern Court, which is where Nilo and their mother are from, and like Rain, is very free, and their mother has 1,000 lovers, because that's the Southern Court. They're very free with their bodies, free with their love. And Nilo's not that way. And so they have at one point their mother's making them uncomfortable, and they start clutching their chest right here because they have a book in their they have a secret pocket in their tunic where they keep their emotional support book.
I want one of those.
All of us. I know.
Somebody so please make that into a real thing.
Yeah, because Nilo is not everybody else in the court is I don't want to say promiscuous, but they're free.
Yeah.
And Nilo is kind of reserved and private. And so they're I've got the mother, I guess, has 3 or 4 lovers, and he has to go Talhan has to go into their chambers, and Nilo is there, and Nilo is just so oh my God, is my mother about to embarrass the shit out of me? Am I gonna see something I don't want to see? And so they're just sitting there with their book, from my book.
I love it.
The sweetest baby angel I have ever read about. So I'm excited. I'm only on like chapter 8, but I'm excited to finish. I hopefully will finish this weekend.
Yay.
But yeah, I'm going to need you to read this series because you will fall head over heels in love with Mila like I have. Like, they are the cutest thing.
Oh, I already love them.
Yeah. Okay, what did you do this week? Because that's all I got.
Okay, so this week apparently I decided to do some rereads. The first of which was Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong. And okay, I reread this because I listened to all of her other books on audiobook and I felt like it was disrespectful to not also listen to this one on audiobook. And so I got the audiobook and I listened to it, and it's just as perfect as I remembered it being. So yay. And then I also reread The Nanny this week, which is so good. I love The Nanny so much. It's by Lana Ferguson.
It's so good.
It
Go
comes
pre-order
out.
it.
Go pre-order it. It comes out on April 11th. It's about Cassie, who is a grad student who's just lost her job, and the only thing that she can do is either go back to OnlyFans or be a live-in nanny for a super hot single dad, which is the route she decides to go to.
Hey.
And it is an excellent route, if I do say so myself. Aiden is the single dad. He is a chef, and he's got a little girl. Her name is Sophie. She is sassy as hell, and we love her. And then things happen. Cassie finds out, oh, hey, Aiden used to be my top subscriber on OnlyFans. Chaos ensues. This book is so freaking hot, and everybody who loves romance and steamy sex scenes and just spice needs to read it. I cannot stress this enough. You need to go pre-order The Nanny by Lana Ferguson right now.
And keep an eye on the Incoherent Fangirl because in April
we're going to be talking to
she'll
Lana.
be back. She'll be here. And you get to hear all of
the Incoherence things we spoke to her.
Yeah. There's lots of potato talk.
She fits in perfectly, and she's awesome. I also want to say that this book, there's a lot of heart in this book. Like, the relationships are very relatable. There's just a lot of emotions, and it's just really well done. And I would like to enter my Wanda era. I want to give no shits about what people say or think and just do whatever the fuck I want. And Wanda is queen, and we love her. And then I finished reading Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, which is the sequel-ish to Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Danny is a chaotic bisexual gremlin idol that I've always wanted in my life. She doesn't believe in like love or relationships or feelings or anything like that, just because like that's just not her jam. And then Zafir is like this huge romantic, and he reads like romance novels. Not only does he read romance novels, he listens to them on audiobook even while at work. We love him. We stand Zafir, and they're like friends. And one day there's like a fire drill that Danny doesn't realize is a fire drill, so she thinks she's about to die because she's trapped in the elevator. And Zaf like realizes she hasn't exited the building and he didn't see her leave, so he goes back in he goes to save her. And like, it's a fire drill, it's not an actual fire, so nobody's in danger. But Danny doesn't know that, and Zaf is like stressing out because he's like, oh my god, where is she? Is she okay? And so then he goes back in and saves her, and he like carries her out of the building, and it gets recorded, and the moment goes viral, and then they become hashtag, oh my gosh, what is it? Rugbay, hashtag Dr. Rugbay, because he is a former like professional rugby player, and she is a doctoral student. And so now Zaf's like charity that he works for is getting a lot of press and donations and stuff because of this hashtag. And so he goes to Danny and he's like, hey, would you mind like fake dating me so that we can capitalize on this? And she's like, hell yes, I would, because I would like to sleep with you. And so she's like super flirty and wants to be like, let's be friends with benefits. And he's over here like super romantic, like, I don't have one night stands. But then he's like, okay, let's try it because you're super hot and I'm super attracted to you. And, you know, things happen. So it's like chaos ensues, as it does in romance novels. There's fake datings, friends to lovers, he falls first, swoon.
Love.
Yes. We stand Zafir because, again, he's a romantic, reads romance novels, love him to death. But we also stand Danny because she's like super strong and smart, and she won't take shit from anybody. She's like independent, love it. And she doesn't want to change for anybody because she's tried that once in like a past relationship and it was not great. And so she's just over here like, nah, I don't want to try and do any of that. And he's over here like, dude, babe, you're like perfect. just like this. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Just
what are
be
you talking
perfect.
about? And yeah, so it's so good. And I really liked it. And then I read the last book in the Blue Cedar Falls series, The House on Mulberry Street by Jeannie Chin. This book is about the youngest Wu sister, Elizabeth, and she's always felt like the outcast in her family. Not just that she's like different personalities from her past family, but like her older sisters are named May and June, and your name's Elizabeth. Like I would feel like the outcast too.
Right, yeah.
And so she's always been like a rebel and getting into trouble and stuff, but like she's starting to try and get her life together by starting this arts festival in their small town. And her best friend of like 15 years and current roommate has been in love with her for like their entire friendship, but she has no clue. And he's like,
Of course
okay,
she doesn't.
right? And so he's out here like, okay, I need to like move out and stop pining over her. So he goes and buys a house, and she's like, oh my God, you're leaving me. And he's like, I'm not leaving you. But he can't like tell her exactly why he's moving out, so their relationship gets strained. But then she like really wants this art festival to get off the ground, and because he's in love with her, he's just like, I will help you. And there's all this tension because she's like, there's something you're not telling me, and he's like, I can't tell you. And so but as they're working together, you know, it builds, and then chaos ensues.
As it does.
As it does. I did say last week that I thought that we would get an explanation for why she was named
I was
Elizabeth.
gonna ask.
And we do. We do get an explanation for why she is named Elizabeth and her sisters are named May and June. And I don't know
Is
if
it
you're
a good
gonna...
one?
It is a really good one. Okay.
Tell
so
me. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler.
Spoiler alerts for like the next like 2 minutes or so. So Elizabeth is the youngest, and then June's the oldest, and May's the middle. So there's this whole scene where her family's having an intervention, and she's like, even my name doesn't fit in with the rest of you. And her mom is like, listen, and she gets all like firm, and she never does this. And her mom is like, listen, June is named June because she was born in June. May, born in May. Named her May. You were early. You were supposed to be born in April. You were born in February. Can't name you February. And she's like, okay, yeah, I get that. And then her mom's like, I named you after the NICU nurse who took care of you while you were in there.
Oh.
And I was like, my heart.
But also, why are you an adult and you don't know that?
Because it's a Chinese family and they don't talk about feelings.
Okay. So I was gonna say, my mom said like all of her baby dolls were named Amanda when she was a baby, like when she was a little kid. And so she was like, I always knew. She was like, I don't know why. I just always knew when I had a child, it would be a little girl, and I was going to name her Amanda. And then my middle name is after her great grandmother, my great great grandmother. Yeah. So like I always knew where my name came from. But yeah, I guess that's just a different family dynamic.
Different. Yeah. Like in my family, I had to ask why I was named the name that I was given, you know, and so did my brother. So it's like, it's different dynamics. And so Elizabeth Olive's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's actually much better than what you named them. Because but I just think it's funny.
Thanks for not naming me February.
Right.
No, I just think your name is February. Sorry, but
it wouldn't be my first choice.
No.
But I just think it's really funny that her children were born, or were supposed to be born, in the months that you could name them after, like June and May, and she was supposed to be born in April. Like, did she plan that? Like, damn. Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's our explanation, and I think it's a really good one.
That's cute.
It made me cry when I read it, and Elizabeth was just like, oh, she was like, so like, she shrank down. She's like, oh, okay. That's actually really great.
I'm not mad.
And then she's like the youngest. She may be like the youngest sibling, but she's like the most relatable one to me, because I've always felt like the outcast in my family. Like, I feel like I'm the black sheep of my family, and she feels that way about her family, even though like she's really not. She's just got a different personality. And so I was just like, you are me and I am you. And I really like this one.
I get it. I understand you.
And so yeah, this book was just like besties to lovers and opposites attract, and it was so good. I loved it so much. I highly recommend the whole series. It was really fun.
Okay.
And then I have 2 more. I promise I'm almost done. I read Nobody's Magic by Destiny O. Birdsong, and it's like a collection of 3 stories about 3 different black women with albinism. And so the first one is Suzette, who is like super sheltered because there was this thing that happened when she was younger younger that was like really scary. And so her parents got really scared. And so they like homeschooled her and kept her home. And she's like 20 now. And she's still like super sheltered by her parents. And then there's Maple, who's kind of like grappling with like her mother's death. She is like an unsolved murder. And then Agnes
Ooh.
is working far from home and just kind of like coasting by in her life, trying to figure out what to do. And then there's an incident that happens and it pushes her kind of over the edge. And so then she kind of like has to run from there. She's in Utah, and so she has to run from there and kind of make her way back home. They're all originally from Shreveport, Louisiana, though I don't think that any of them interact with each other. Like they aren't in each other's lives. It's just three separate stories, just in the same book. And they're all like at this crossroads in their lives. There's like themes of grief and like female strength and self-discovery, the power of family in there. And they're all kind of just trying to figure out what path to take in their lives and find the hope that is there for their future, because they all feel kind of like, oh crap, like what's gonna happen next. And so I think it was really good. I really liked it. I listened to it on audiobook, and there were 3 different narrators, one for each girl. And it was it was really nice. And it was like they weren't like they weren't different POVs. It was like the first 2 chapters, it was like Suzette's story, and then the next like 2 chapters were Maple's story, and then Agnes's story. And they weren't like regular chapter lengths, they were like longer, so it was just like the whole story in one. So I thought that was really cool. It was kind of like if you had an anthology where you had 3 different stories in it. And I really liked it. Yeah. And it felt like, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt some kind of way about it. Like it was good. It I don't know, something like clicked inside me. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling things. And yeah, I really liked it. And then the last thing I read, which I just finished today, was The Jump by Brittany Morris. Obviously, I have the arc of it. It came out on the 7th, so I'm a little late. But this was so good. This was one of my most anticipated reads for this month, and it was so, so good. It follows these 4 teenagers who are like puzzlers, and they each have like a specific strength. So like Jax is like the person who he's like the best puzzler of the group. And then you have Yaz, who is like a parkourist, and Han, who like knows the city like the back of his hand. He knows all like the ins and outs and like shortcuts and things. And then there is Spider, who is like a computer genius. And so they all have their specific skill sets, and they work together to solve the puzzles and win. Like they do, like it's like an online forum where like groups like create puzzles, and you have to solve it, and the first one who gets to the end, it's like a puzzle scavenger hunt kind of thing, and the first group who gets to the end wins. And every now and then there's like it's not like monetary prizes, it's just like for fun or stuff like that. Like there's a rule that the prize can't be more than like $50 if it's like a monetary prize. But then there's like this vigilante group, like social justice group called The Order, who pops up on the forum and gives them this puzzle. And so they're like, we have to win it, because they're offering like power and stuff, and they've seen the things that the Order has done. Like they've done things to like change laws and stuff like that in favor of the little guy. And so like we have to win it, because there's a company who is trying to build an oil refinery in their community, and it's going to take the place of like the community garden that Jax's mom like runs. And then it's gonna, I forget what all the other stuff is for the other, but it's gonna affect every single one of them and their families. And so they're like, we need this power so that we can make sure that they don't like come in and build this place. And I don't know what it is about this book, but like within like the first page or 2, I was engrossed. I was like in love with this book. I cannot explain it, but it was so good. There's so much representation in this book. There's like people of color, there's members of the Alphabet Mafia, there's neurodivergency. And it was so good. There were some heavy like fuck the police sentiments, which I'm all about. I'm all about that, because listen, it's not a secret, the police kind of suck right now. And then there was this one line where I think it was Jax's mom who was like, you need to be the change. And then they're like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like nobody actually knows what that means. It's just something we say to make ourselves feel better about not doing anything. And so I was just like, wow, honestly,
right, though.
really never thought about it. It's right. 10 out of 10. I have no notes. I am like ready to read her other books right now. I'm ready for her to write more books and let me read them immediately. I
Yes,
loved it.
give me all of those.
Give me all of it. And there was one last thing, is that there was also like a direct like Spider-Man reference like to Miles Morales. And I thought, first of all, it's awesome because it's nerdy. But second of all, I think it's funny because the author actually wrote a Miles Morales book. Like, and I was like,
so they pulled an Adam Silvera in.
They did kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she did. And so I was just like, I kind of love that. So that was really fun. And then the last thing is that I finally watched Legally Blonde. I watched it with Beth for movie night. I know I've never.
I know you've never seen Legally Blonde?
Probably not, but you could have assumed. I didn't watch movies as a kid.
Oh my god.
So I had never seen Legally Blonde before. So I finally watched Legally Blonde for the first time because of Robbie Couch.
Yeah.
Because Blaine for the Win is basically like teenage gay Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was just like, yeah, I can see where the inspiration came from. And it was funny because I messaged Robbie. I'm like, I feel like I'm legally informed or legally required to inform you that I'm currently watching Legally Blonde for the first time. So there you go. Congratulations. Yeah. You did this. And I really enjoyed it. I did have to constantly remind myself that it came out like 20 years ago when times were different then and is really not realistic. But like, I'm ready to watch the next one. I loved it.
It's not as good. But fun fact.
Yes.
As much as my mom and my sister and I quote, You've Got Mail, it's about the same for Legally Blonde. It's our other like familial comfort movie. Like there's one scene where her friend is like, you can have my lucky scrunchie.
Yeah.
I got an A in Spanish class. And she's like, you got an A in Spanish class because you gave Montoya a lap dance after class. And she goes, yeah. Luckily. And we luckily each other all the time.
Yes. That was so good. I laughed so hard. It was really weird seeing Jennifer Coolidge like so like small. You know what I mean?
So when
like
people talk about her, this is the role I think about her in.
See, I think Jennifer Coolidge was Stifler's mom, right?
Yeah, but
that's the first role that I saw her in. So that's what I think of. And then the other one is Two Broke Girls.
Yeah.
I fucking love her on that.
I freaking. And then the bend, oh my god, the bend and snap works every time.
I can't.
When you got into Harvard Law? What, like it's hard?
It's hard. Like, and she really did work hard. Like, like I mean, the admission video was a little, but like she really studied and like worked hard to take the LSAT and get in. So
it reminds me, not that doesn't remind me, but it reminds me of me and George Bailey when they go to like their little meet and greet on the lawn, and she's like, "I am Elle Woods, and this is Bruiser Woods, and we're both Gemini vegetarian." Oh, I'm gonna have to watch Legally Blonde again now, and I'm gonna have to I guarantee you, I'll talk to my mom tomorrow, and I'll have to text you because she will make a Legally Blonde reference.
I'm okay with that. That's so funny.
Yeah, those are our two big ones that we quote constantly: is You've Got Mail and Legally Blonde.
And I watched them both recently, so you're welcome.
See, that's like my childhood.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch movies as a kid. Not really. So, all right.
Is that your week?
That's everything. Yes.
Do you have a fictional boyfriend?
Well, it turns out I didn't write one down, but going through my list, I can definitely say Zafir from Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I love that man. He is perfect. I have no notes. Yes. A man who reads romance novels
and listens to them on audio.
And listens to them on audiobook.
Hand me that real quick.
And is not into one night stands and wants to like just love you as you are and take care of you. I'm in. These men do not exist, but I want one. Yeah. And also the entire cast of Last Violent Call. Thanks.
That's a given. That's like, I mean, Aaron Warner is always.
Yeah, like I don't need to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Here's an Elvis reference. Always on my mind. Like,
what about you?
I think it's going to be my non-binary friends, Nilo and Spear. I love them
Yeah.
so much. I'm like, I just relate to them on like an elemental level. Like
Yeah,
your emotional support books.
absolutely. Oh my God.
I just,
Yes. Yes.
so it's Nilo.
Excellent.
I'm sure it'll be them next week too, because I'm going to finish this and be like, oh.
Forever. Where did your money go this week?
It didn't go very far. I got this beautiful microphone flag
It's
featuring the
so
Incoherent
cool.
Fangirl logo.
I love it.
I ordered it like the same day I got this microphone, but it took like a month and a half to
Oh my
come in.
God.
I guess because they're so backed up, because it's like one company that can make these things. So
Oh.
they're like, it will be actually they're a day early, because all of their emails said it will be done on March 16th. It will be to you by March 17th. And in our
Oh.
timeline, as we've already told you, today is March 16th and I have it.
Oh, nice.
I got something in early, but
Okay.
my arrival most vile showed up.
Nice. It doesn't even come out till Monday.
I know. I went and
Oh,
pre-ordered it on Amazon, and Amazon was like, I guess we'll go ahead and send you that.
well, how
I
nice of
saw it and
them.
it said will be delivered Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever I got it. And I was like, that must just be like a weird glitch.
Yeah.
And I didn't check again. And I had some other stuff. Like I did some like bathroom remodeling stuff. I changed out like faucets and drains and stuff to make it more
Hmm.
aesthetic. And so I was like, oh, it's just gonna like these, I can ignore these emails. It's just telling me my like bathroom
Yeah.
faucets are shipped. Oh, it was Arrival Most Filed by RK Ashwick, which go back a few episodes and you can hear us talk to RK
Yes.
and gush over the coziest book I've ever read.
So fucking cozy, y'all.
A
Go
hug
order it.
in a book.
So good. So good.
And then it wasn't my money, but we know by now that the show husband boils me well.
Yes, he does.
He and one of the twins went to Kroger the other day. Just, I think she had done really well in a test or something. And she was like, I want to go to Starbucks. And he was like, sure. So he takes her to the Starbucks in our Kroger, and they come back with a drink for me and a tumbler that is the most gorgeous Starbucks tumbler I've ever seen. It's like a pearl.
It's so
There's like
pretty.
a glare on it, so you really can't see it well, but it's like a pearl with like a lavender straw, and it is just so pretty, and I'm obsessed with it, and like it's now my emotional support vessel.
Tumblr. I
Yeah.
love it. It's so pretty.
So my household's money bought me a tumbler.
It
And I
counts.
think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. I had kind of an uneventful week.
Okay.
Where did your money go? Do you have a skyscraper?
No, I actually don't. It's been a quieter
Hey.
week. And actually, I only have four things and I only paid for two of them. So, I
Okay.
mean, that's
Hey.
something. Okay, so first I got my Here Comes the Nerd March Patreon. It's the Mad Hatter. The pin is there, but I didn't want to take it out. So there's the sticker and the
I was
pin is
gonna say
behind it.
it looks like a sticker. How
It
did
is
she
a
do
sticker.
that?
It
Yeah,
is a
okay, I see.
sticker, but the pin is behind it.
I see.
And then she has started to make these new, she's testing them out. They're acrylic magnets. And so she started
Oh,
with her original characters, Mitty and Sen. They're
cuties.
so cute. And she actually just released a couple new sets. And one of them is Reese and Feyre. And
Oh.
it's so cute. And then there's a mystery pin, which I haven't opened yet because I got home and I did this. So let's do it together.
Open it.
I'm opening it.
I want her to write like a little like a children's book about her characters.
No comment.
Okay, good. That's positive.
This is so cute. I think it's a limited edition version of the Mad Hatter.
Oh.
So where did I put it? So this is the regular coloring, right? And then this is
Yeah. I love
he's so
him.
cute. Oh my god, he's gonna look so cute next to Alice and the rest of the
Yeah.
gang. So that's that. And then I sent you a screenshot of my tracking for this because I was just like, what the fuck? So I ordered from Waterstones and I got the Last Violent Call. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition, which has this gorgeous hardcover. That foiling
That
makes me
is
so happy.
beautiful. That's such a nice color.
It is a nice color, and it's signed by Chloe, and so yeah, I had to order it, obviously. But the tracking on Royal Mail's website, I think it was like this was accidentally sent to San Jose in error. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
y'all, that's not an error. I live in San Jose. Give me my Chloe. But it showed up. It's here. So that's very exciting. So those are the two things that I actually spent money on.
Paid for
But I forever sent me another book. It's A Spinster's Guide to Danger and Dukes by Amanda Collins. This
All
is
right.
the third in a series. I think they're also like three sisters. And it's like, it feels like murder, mystery, historical romance.
Hey.
I kind of am digging that whole vibe. So now I need to read the other two so I can read this.
Yeah.
But look how cute this cover is. I'm
That
obsessed with
is
it.
really, I want to know where the murder vibes come in.
So
Ooh.
yeah, let's see. I'm going to read the back to you then.
Okay.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that a lady in danger must be in need of rescue, but whether she wants to be rescued is up for debate. England, 1867. Miss Poppy Delamar
Sold.
is living a lie. To escape an odious betrothal, she fled to London, where she's been hiding as the unassuming secretary Flora Deaver. However, when her beloved sister is accused of murder, Poppy cannot leave her to the wolves.
Okay.
Only a most unexpected and unwelcome collision interrupts her journey home. Despite a rather dismal first meeting, Joshua Fielding, the Duke of Langham, has no intention of abandoning a lady in need, but he's not above asking a favor. A fake betrothal will give Poppy and her sister the power of the dukedom and protect Langham from the society misses intent on becoming his duchess. Yet, the longer the ruse goes on, the more Poppy and Langham realize how false their first impressions were, and the less pretend their engagement feels.
Hey.
But before Langham can propose in truth, their search reveals a tangled web of lies and betrayal. With time running out, can Poppy and Langham find the real culprit before Poppy becomes the next victim?
I love.
I'm
You had me at England
1867.
7.
Yeah.
Give me. Yeah.
It sounds so good. And like the vibes are immaculate.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for that. Thank you so much to Forever for sending me to that. And then the other thing I got, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast before, but I'm a member of Disney Movie Insiders. So like you get points for like watching movies and various things. I can't even remember. But they recently had like the special reward for International Women's Day. And so of course I had to get it because it's Marvel's Powers of a Girl.
Yes.
And I love everything about this. I love everything about this. I cannot wait to dig into it. The back has a little quote from Squirrel Girl, and I've never read Squirrel Girl, but now I want to because Squirrel Girl, powers of both squirrel and girl. Find some nuts, eat some nuts, kicks bad guys, evil butts. To her, life is a great big acorn where there's a city crime torn. You'll find the Squirrel Girl. And I thought
it was going to say kick the bad guys in the nuts.
That would be amazing. Nope.
But I guess if it's a book for children, they can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still like it.
They all look so badass.
Yeah, they sure do.
I love it. So
that is really cool.
And got that. And I'm very, very excited. And that is, I just found one more. Look at it's Bucky.
Bucky! That is very cute.
It's cute. It's from Little Trip Designs, and it's just a little like clay Bucky on a little cameo necklace, so I can just keep him with me.
He's
all the
so
time.
Cute.
He's so cute. I was like, what is this thing sitting right next to my computer? Oh yeah, I put it there for a reason.
And Bucky Barnes.
That is where my money went this week.
Well, do you have anything you're anticipating?
Yes. I am looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to be reading That Wasn't in the Script by Sarah Ainsley, and hopefully, time permitting and my daughter not driving me absolutely insane, I will also be finishing If I See You Again Tomorrow by Robbie Couch. I'm very excited to read both of those. Also, I just found out that there is an event in San Francisco on Saturday where Dominic Lim, who is the author of All the Right Notes, is going to be co-hosting, and it sounds like it's like at a bar, and there's going to be like authors who are reading pieces from their new books, and I'm just like, this sounds like heaven. But it's like later in the day in San Francisco, so we'll have to see how I feel, because that's a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's yeah. Keep pulling these days. I'm almost really feeling hard. Like I felt like very early in 2020 where it's like Do I
I
have a
don't
lot of
need to be
people?
around people.
I
Yeah, I'm not
eh,
quite sure. I do want to meet
I would rather
Dominic, but
vegetate. Yeah.
it is a drive into the city. So we'll see. And the other thing is I'm looking forward to our interview next week with,
Yay!
as mentioned before, Sarah Ainsley.
Sarah!
We're so excited to have Sarah on. I follow her on Instagram and she is one of us. She's just so nerdy and she's just one of us. And I cannot wait to geek out with her. It's going to be so much
I
fun.
love it.
What are
Love.
you anticipating?
Well, Shadow and Bone season 2 came out today. I haven't watched any of it, but I'm thinking tomorrow's gonna be the day. Tomorrow's gonna be the day. So tomorrow's also St. Patrick's Day,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
have, with all the love in my heart, created little monsters. So when I was growing up, my mom would, like, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, whatever, she would always do this like special breakfast for us where like we would have green pancakes for St. Patrick's Day, and she'd like make us chocolate milk with food coloring to make it green. And then like Valentine's Day, you'd have the heart shaped. And so I've done that for the twins, except this year for St. Patrick's Day, we're recording and it's past 11 o'clock and they get up for school. They leave for school at like 6:50.
Oh, jeez.
And so I was like, what if we did like after school snacks? And they were like, yes. So I'm not gonna say what all I'm doing because one of them is downstairs and I think she can hear me. And I'm secretive because I'm extra, but I'll post photos of it next week when this episode comes out so that like everybody can see.
Yes.
But I'm also gonna make Guinness stew tomorrow night. So we're gonna have like our little St. Patrick's Day snack fest and dinner.
Nice.
We are then Saturday night. One of them, she just texted me, what do you mean I can't hear you? Mhm. That is exactly why I'm not spilling any details. Saturday night, we're going out with our best friends here to the Monkey's Paw Tiki Bar. I
Yes.
will miss you.
Oh, I'm so
I
jealous.
will have a lapu lapu for you, which is the big drink that comes in the pineapple.
Yes.
Yeah, they texted us today actually, and they were like, we're gonna like get rid of our kids for the night. I guess they're going to grandparents or something. They were like, you guys want to go get tiki? And we were like, yes.
Always.
Um, so we're gonna do that. And then I'm sure you're doing this too, but we should probably talk about it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
participate in the Trans Readathon
I
next
was
week.
literally sitting here like, I need to talk about the Trans Rights Readathon.
Yeah. So they're saying like the dates that they've given are the 20th through the 27th. You try to read books by, doesn't even have to be just trans authors or trans characters, but Alphabet Mafia can count.
Oh, okay.
It's what I've seen. I could be wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
I try to focus on trans
Trans.
creators, trans
Yeah.
authors, trans characters if you can. But if you don't have books about trans characters, but you have some Alphabet Mafia, that works too.
Yeah.
But some creators, based on their ability, because you don't want to make anything harder on anybody and times are tough. If you have the means, people are asking that you donate. I'm going to say I'm going to do $10 for every book I read to the Trans Health Legal Fund, a
Mm-hmm.
local trans shelter, or any organization that's like raising money for gender affirming surgeries, things like that.
Yeah.
So I will certainly be participating in that. And I'm
Yes.
sure you will too.
Yes. I was sitting here like I didn't want to interrupt you, obviously. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I need to remember before we move on to
Yeah.
talk about. So I'm glad you brought it up because I was
Yeah.
like, how do I segue into that?
I actually I think the girl's name is Meg's Tea Room, is a book talker who made a video about like several books that she wants to read, and I bought one of them and the other is like came free with Audible. Let me look up what they're called because I'm very very excited about both of them.
Okay, well, you
Um
do that. I'll talk about what I'm planning on doing, if that's okay, unless you're
that's
already
fine.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've already
I'm like,
got
okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, so the first one is The Heartbreak Bakery.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. It's trying to start playing instead of showing me anything about it. I
Of
want to
course.
say yes, stop playing. Why are you playing on me? Stop that. Um,
Uh,
So I think it's enemies to lovers, kind of. I don't know what's happening. Something has malfunctioned. It brought me to the post office website, which seems kind of targeted if I'm being honest.
You mean the post office who hates you?
Yeah. What?
Oh my God.
Okay, so the Heartbreak Bakery is about a teenager, Sid. Oh, that's right. So Sid makes a batch of post being dumped brownies.
Okay.
And apparently they make other, like, whoever eats them break up.
Oh.
Yeah. And the author uses all pronouns. Just their name is A.R. Capetta. I'm going to default to they. Sid, no pronouns, please, has always dealt with big, hard to talk about things by baking. Being dumped is no different, except now Sid is baking at the Proud Muffin, a queer bakery and community space in Austin. And everyone who eats Sid's breakup brownies breaks up, even Vin and Alec, who own the Proud Muffin. And their breakup might take the bakery down with it.
Oh
Being
my
dumped is one thing,
God.
causing ripples of queer heartbreak throughout the community is another. But the cute bike delivery person, Harley, he or they, check the pronoun pin, it's probably on the messenger bag, believes Sid about the magic baking, and Harley believes Sid's magic baking can fix things too, one recipe at a time.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That sounds amazing.
Yes. And then the other one, I think I ordered the Kindle book. Yeah, I did. It is, drum roll please, because my Amazon is, I don't know what is happening.
It's not
Phantom
cooperating.
and Rook, when an
Oh.
immortal falls in love with a witch.
Oh.
I think Meg said that this is middle grade.
Okay.
No. All right. Arlo Rook has decided it's time to move out of Garin Castle, home for orphans of all races, magical or not, at 100 years old. He crashes into a mess of copper curls and bright eyes, sending apothecary goods and his life into a chaotic mess. Thatch is a mysterious and incredibly wealthy benefactor of Lavina, only spoken of but never seen. I don't recall what makes this book. Oh, the author. The author is queer.
Okay.
Queer fantasy punk author Alina Isaac. Because I was like, it's about two men, but I don't know what makes this
Yeah.
fall under the trans umbrella. But they're likely more than the two characters in the
Yeah.
in the synopsis.
Probably.
Yeah. So
Okay.
those are the two books that I immediately snagged. I'm sure I'll read and find more, but just Meg's Tea Room on TikTok's video about the books that she plans to read.
Yeah.
I was like, she was describing several of them, and those were the two where I was like, ooh, bought.
Yes.
Ooh, downloaded.
So for me, I'm gonna try and make a TBR for the week. My goal, I've decided that I'm going to donate a minimum of $30, but it's gonna be $10 per book. I just don't know because I have so many things that I have to read as well that I'm
Right.
just not sure how much I'm gonna read. So my goal is to read at least 3 books
Right.
by trans authors
Yeah.
next week.
And I will donate for, even if like books we have to read, I'll still donate even if it's not a trans author or trans character.
So I'm pledging a minimum of $30, but it could be more depending on how my week goes. It's crazy times over here. But one of the books that I plan to read that it's already been on my list. I actually have the physical paperback from my library that is currently overdue, and I'm supposed to return it, but I haven't. But they have no fines anymore, so I'm just kind of like, sorry, I'll get it back to you. My library has decided that on kids and YA books, there's no late fines. It's only on like adult books. So I'm like, all I read is YA. So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad. I'm gonna return them. I have them in a stack to go return them, but I'm just like, well, I have to read this one first.
Yeah.
But it is Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee. Emery is non-binary and uses M-er pronouns.
Okay.
So the description: Felix Ever After meets Becky Albertalli in this swoon-worthy, heartfelt rom-com about how a transgender teen's first love challenges his ideas about perfect relationships. Noah Ramirez thinks he's an expert on romance. He has to be for his popular blog, The Meet Cute Diary, a collection of trans happily ever afters. There's just one problem. All the stories are fake. What started as the fantasies of a trans boy afraid to step out of the closet has grown into a beacon of hope for trans readers across the globe. When a troll exposes the blog blog as fiction, Noah's world unravels. The only way to save the diary is to convince everyone that the stories are true, but he doesn't have any proof. Then Drew walks into Noah's life, and the pieces fall into place. Drew is willing to fake date Noah to save the diary, but when Noah's feelings grow beyond their staged romance, he realizes that dating in real life isn't quite the same as finding love on the page. In this charming novel by Emery Lee, Noah will have to choose between following his own rules for love or discovering that the most romantic endings are the ones that go off script.
Oh,
It sounds so cute. And like, look at this cover. Look how cute that cover is.
that is precious.
I love. And then as I was reading the description of that book and looking at it, and I wanted to look up like Emery's information because I didn't know what her pronouns were. And so I wanted to check. And on Goodreads it doesn't say, but I asked Amber, who knows everything about Alphabet Mafia authors. She is my queen.
Yeah.
And she explained it to me and I'm like, okay, cool. But I also found out that Emery has another book which is called Cafe con Lychee,
Oh,
which also has like a super freaking cute cover, right?
cute. And I
Um,
love the play on words.
right? Well, it gets better. Sometimes bitter rivalries can brew something sweet. Theo Mori wants to escape. Leaving Vermont for college means getting away from working at his parents' Asian American cafe and dealing with their arch rival's hopeless son, Gabby, who's lost the soccer team more games than Theo can count. Gabby Moreno is miserably stuck in the closet, forced to play soccer to hide his love for dance and iced out by Theo, the only openly gay guy at school. Gabby's only reprieve is his parents' Puerto Rican bakery and his plans to take over after graduation. But the town's new fusion cafe changes everything. Between the Moris' struggling shop and the Morenos' plan to sell their bakery in the face of the competition, both boys find their dreams in jeopardy. Then Theo has an idea: sell photo-worthy food covertly at school to offset their losses. When he sprains his wrist and Gabby gets roped in to help, they realize they need to work together to save their parents' shops. But will the new feelings rising between them be enough to send their future plans up in smoke?
Hey.
It sounds gay.
Yeah, it's gay.
It's gay. So I think I'm probably gonna add that one to my list
Yeah.
because Emery is non-binary, which, in case anybody didn't know, non-binary does fall under the trans umbrella.
I didn't know. I had seen like debate on how it could be and how it could not be. And so
Mhm.
I didn't want to.
Yes. From what I understand, it does fall under the umbrella, so I'm very
Perfect.
it's good to know. And then I want to put like one more book on my list, but I can't. I wish I had realized, and Brittany Morris is not trans, but there's a character in The Jump that is trans, who I love so much. And I love his parent because he's just got the one, he's just got his mom, but his mom, the way that she just accepted him, and I just it's so good. I cannot stress enough how much I love The Jump by Brittany Morris. Please go read it.
Yes.
There's actually a trans character and a non-binary character. So if anybody else is wanting to be a part of this and needs a recommendation, the author is not trans, but there are characters and they're very excellent.
Very cute. Very cute.
But yeah, so that is my plan. I'm gonna read those two books by Emery Lee. I'm gonna find a third book that prominently features a trans character or has a trans author, and then we'll see what else I end up reading. Because it's just, life is crazy.
Yes.
So.
I do want to correct myself because I said something dumb. I was looking for they, them pronouns for my description of Phantom and Rook, and that was just me being an airhead. So when I said, I don't know what makes this book about a trans character, it's because I was just quickly reading and saw he, him pronouns for both characters, and just the brain left my body. So because he, him could be a trans character for all I know.
Sometimes it's very late where you are.
It's very late, and I don't have a brain on my best days.
Same.
Correction on my idiocy.
Okay, so do you have anything else you're looking forward to?
No, but I think I'm going to start the readathon early because I'm already reading The Evergreen Air. So
that counts.
That counts. Even if the readathon starts on the 20th, officially, I'll still donate for this book because how could I not donate for Nilo Emberspear? Like they're going to get me to give some money. I love them so much.
Yeah. All right. So, as Mandy said in the introduction of the episode, this is going to be a shorter episode. We will not be having a fangirl freestyle. It is because we did record an interview with Lana Ferguson. It's just that that interview is not coming out until the April 14th episode of the podcast. So, stay tuned for that. But because we did record, it's too late for us to add anything else because Mandy is
Right.
very tired
I
and
am.
my kid has to go
I'm
to bed.
fading. It is
Yeah.
like it's almost 11:30 and
Yeah.
we've
Mandy,
talked about on the podcast about my need for sleep.
yeah, she needs to sleep. So does my child. So, yeah. So we're going to go into the spiel.
Yay, the spiel.
So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. Please also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at The Incoherent Fangirl and Twitter at Incoherent Girls, even though we hate Twitter, but we're there.
Boo.
Please like our Facebook page and then head over to our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes as well as read our blog, which has long form reviews of all the things that, not all the things, but many things that we read.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah,
These
and
days.
there's a lot that's going on there. So
Yeah.
please do read that. We put a lot of effort into it, and we're both writers, and we want people to read our work, and it makes us very
Yes.
proud. And you can also go to our Patreon and subscribe there, where you could see our beautiful faces because we're super cute, and we know
And my
it.
new mic flag.
And her new little mic flag.
It's
very,
got
I should
our
do this.
logo.
It's so cute. I'm so jealous.
That's why I didn't tell you because I was like, I can't wait to show her.
So
It's
cool.
been killing me.
Yay. It's nice that it arrived on a recording day, so
I
you didn't have to
know,
wait during
and I was so glad it didn't come through USPS because I was like, if it was USPS, they would not have delivered it today. But UPS came through.
Awesome. But yeah, if you would like to view any of the stuff that we talk about and show off during the podcast, or just see how pretty we are, because we are, and we know it, guys. We don't need you to tell us we're pretty, but we would appreciate it because
yes,
validation
compliments
is
are
nice.
our carbohydrates.
Yeah. So head on over to theincoherentfangirl.com/Patreon and you can subscribe there. It's just a couple bucks.
Yeah.
You get to see these pretty faces. And you can also reach out to us via email, theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, you do want to tell us we're pretty. Like we said, we're kind of like Tinkerbell. You need to give us attention and tell us we're pretty so that we'll survive.
Yes.
And one last way that you can support the podcast is to rate and review on whatever platform you are listening to us on. We would really appreciate that as well.
Leave us some words. I would love to read some words about us.
I actually would too. And I know listen, we are not really like egotistical people, but like it's nice to know that people like are listening and they enjoy it. So please let us know. We appreciate that. And she is at Mandy Perv on all the things.
And she's at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And once you have followed us on social media and you followed the podcast on social media, you can go visit our internet besties and perform some self-care and do some shopping.
I mean, retail therapy.
It's amazing. You can first head over to herecomesthenerd.com, use code FANGIRL. You'll get 20% off your first order.
And then you'll go to onceuponabookclub.com and use code Mandy10 for 10% off. And I forgot to tell Karin this. I messaged somebody about coming to talk to us with Once Upon a Book Club. So stay tuned. We may just be having our cute little bestie Logan on the show.
We'll
see how that shakes out.
And speaking of besties coming on the show, Sam from Grimoire Tea will be coming on at some point as well. But in the meantime, you can get cozy up with your books and your new artwork from Here Comes the Nerd and head on over to grimoiretea.com where you can use code FANGIRLT to get 10% off your order. But please remember, there's no I in Fangirl. It's FANGRLTEA.
And last but certainly not least, our queen, our angel, our favorite author on the that has, been back, our favorite repeat guest, if you will, Amber D. Lewis, the author of the Fire and Starlight Saga, one of our favorites. Head over to her website, amberdlewis.com, and use code FANGIRL10 for 10% off your purchase.
Yay!
Oh,
We
the best of the besties.
we love our besties so much. Go visit them. Go
Yeah,
just
support them.
support them and make yourself happy in the progress. I promise you will not regret it. Your
No.
wallet may be mad at you, but you won't be mad at yourself.
No. And also, I know I talked about it last week, but the Searchers podcast is now live. It's called The Paranormal Mind. I listened to the first episode in which my husband says that he would not want 7 wives. He says he loves his wife, but he would not want 7 of me. And I feel like that's rude.
That is incredibly rude.
He said it jokingly. But go listen to The Paranormal Mind wherever you get your podcasts and leave them a rate and a review as well.
Yay.
Yay.
We gotta support the show husband.
Yes, we do. Now the show dog just needs a podcast, and we could just be like we could make our own podcast network at that point. Like we'd be unstoppable.
I mean, perhaps we can make that happen with maybe not the show dog, maybe with other friends.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. I don't know
Somebody
if
make a podcast.
I'm just saying, it's not like anybody is listening that could possibly be making a podcast.
I know. I know.
I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting around. No big
Mm-hmm.
deal.
We're just
Anyways.
excited for you guys. Okay.
Thank you for listening. We love you so much.
We love you.
Oh, and that was the Incoherent Fangirl.
That was the Incoherent Fangirl. We almost forgot to tell you where you were.
We're very incoherent tonight. It's very late. We love you.
Yes, we love you. Bye.
Bye. We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.